Hello everyone, myself Dr. Chaya Arun Khilare, Assistant Professor in Dr. Patil Arts and Science College, Risod, District, Washington. And the topic of my seminar is sericulture. We all know that today there are the growing industries about the sericultures. Most of the people they are trying to culture the silkworms to produce a lot of silk, because the silk is a trending market in India. We use lot of silk for the clothing properties and for different purposes, for the economic growth of country, as well as the farmers who are cultivating the sericulture, So how the sericulture idea was evolved, how this concept of sericulture has been evolved into the world, and what processes they are going to take during the sericulture or during the cultivation of silkworm, we are going to see in this lecture. So the sericulture, firstly, the sericulture meaning the silk producing agro industries. Sericulture is the silk producing agro industry. It is called as agro industries because the basics or the starting of silk production, it is coming towards the agriculture productions, because we all know that the worms, those are responsible for production of silk. They feed on to the leaves of mulberry plant. So the basics of sericulture is from the agriculture. So they call as a agro industry, because this industry, the silkworm industry, is corresponding or to the collaborated with the agriculture farming. India is the second largest country into the silk productions, because after the Green Revolution, there is a large concept of sericulture was evolved into the India. Then silk farming is the rearing. We all know the rearing of silkworm, and that silkworms are responsible for the production of silk. Then silk is also known as the queen of textile and biosilk because of its strength, because silk, it is the most buying or to the selling clothing product of India after the cotton. So the silk is very much economically productive business in case of India. Now if we see the little bit background of sericulture, how the idea about sericulture was evolved. So there is a story behind the evolution of sericulture. It was told that a Chinese queen or the ancient empresses, she was sitting under a tree, under the mulberry plant tree, and she was drinking a tea. And while drinking her tea, a silk cocoon was filled into her tea, and because of there is a hotness of tea, the silk start to unwrap itself. The cocoon starts to becoming a thread like structure like this, and she felt the warm sensation. But when she start to she start to get the threads to out of from her tea. But when she starts to get the thread out of her tea, she found that the thread is continuous. She wrapped that thread around her finger, and that it become continuously wrapping, and after that completion of wrapping, she found that there is a larva appeared. She saw that under the cocoon there is a larva, and then she thought that that a larva is responsible for the production of silk. And then there is a idea of cultivation of larva. The cultivation of silkworms starts, and the sericulture business are also starts. So the idea or the origination of silkworm or the silk production, it came from the China. Now these are some silk which are foundly to the worldwide and India also, like mulberry silk, tussar silk, muga silk, and the eri silk or the erandi silks. So these there are different host plants and different species of the silkworm are found onto the different silks. जैसे कि मलबेरी सिल्क इट मोस्ट कॉमनली यूज्ड सिल्क which is produced by the Bombyx mori. These are the some silk we are abundantly found in India. Then these are species which are responsible for the production of silk. This is for the mulberry silk, tussar silk, eri silk and the muga silk. These are the moth which are responsible for the production of silk. Now the production of sericulture, it is under the 3 divisions. First will be the agriculture division, then we are having entomological division, and then third will be the technical division. So these 3 divisions, they are come after one into the complete formation of silk, like from production to the extraction of silk. These are the 3 divisions where we are using in the silk production. So the first will be the agricultural division. In case of this division, the cultivation of host plant, because if we are not feeding the larva properly, there will be the no growth of moth, and then there will be the no production of silk. So the first step in case of silk production, it will be the cultivation of host plants. कुठल्याही culture करायचा, if you are wanted to culture the silkworm, you have to prepare the host plants. Then the stages of larva, they are feed onto the plant leaves. Then they are required different conditions for their growth, and this is a most crucial step because this is the beginning of sericulture step, and this step requires the complete cultivation or the complete growth of host plant. Now in India we mostly use the mulberry plant or the mulberry silk. Mulberry silkworms feeds on the mulberry plants of genus Morus. So there are different species are found. There are Morus alba, Morus indica, Morus serrata, Morus latifera. These are the some species we are found in India. Instead of mulberry plant, you can use also the lettuce people. Sometimes people use lettuce, people, orange plants also. There are some certain climatic conditions are required to the growth of mulberry plants. So they required a temperature near about 15 to 37 degrees Celsius, and the annual rainfall about 600 to 2500 millimeter rainfall required to the cultivation of mulberry plant. The soil should be loamy red or the red sandy soil is good for cultivation of the mulberry plant. Then we are having entomological division. It includes rearing of silk moth. After deciding host plants, we are having rearing of silk moth, and this is the most typical and time consuming process. They required complete knowledge about the life cycle of the silk moth along with its morphology and anatomy. Now we see the life cycle of silkworm. It requires near about 1 month for completion of life cycle. Depending upon the weather, depending upon the environmental condition, it required near about 1 month where the silkworm complete their life cycles. So here we can see the pairing of male and female moth. Then the female lays egg, and the female lays about 10 to 20 million eggs in per cycle. Then the eggs hatch into the worms or the first instar larva. The step requires 5 days. After 10 days, the larvae start formation, and then there is a second instar larva. After 14 days, it will be a third instar larva. Then the third instar larva stop the feeding, and it start to becoming more and more dry places. It goes to the dry places, and then this larva through its salivary glands secrete the substance and starts to form the cocoons. After 10 to 12 days, they form the cocoon completely, and then after that cocoon formation, the moth, where the larva emerge into the moth, and then the larva emerge from the cocoon and fly out. This is the complete life cycle about silkworm. It requires about 1 to half a month to complete their life cycle. So, the selection of silkworm race, like we should select the race which complete their life cycle within the 5 to 6 days per year. In per year, that larva has to complete their life cycles about 5 to 6 times, and the larva should not hibernating, they should not go on that dormant period, they should not go on the sleeping period. Then univolatile and bivolatile race are also reared in India. Then hybrids of multivolate and bivolatile reared commercially for its superior quality and huge quantity of eggs. Then there are some granages, or these are some requirement for the formation of cocoon through the larva. These places they are where the seeds are produced at large scales, like healthy disease free cocoons of pure race are selected. Then these cocoons preserved about 20 to 25 degrees Celsius in wooden trays about 70 to 80 hours. Then after emergence, female transferred to the plastic trays allowed to copulate with the males of desired race under the black cloth for 3 hours. Within 12 hours, female lays about 400 to 600 eggs. Then there are some diseases, some are protozoan diseases, some are bacterian diseases, fungal infections are also occurs in case of silkworm. Then there are some swelling and skin rupturing diseases are also found in case of silkworm. Then there are some pests who attacked onto the silkworm. Then third will be the technical division, where the extraction and purification of silk fibers from cocoon has evolved. Then this is the last step of sericulture. This is the more energy consuming and time consuming step. In this, only 30 to 40% cocoon of the rearing tray are allowed to complete their life cycle, while rest are used for obtaining silk fibers. And this is the post cocoon process. After formation of complete cocoon, the cocoon will be extracted, and for 1 kg of silk they required 5,500 to 6,000 cocoons. For the 1 kg of silk, 6,000 cocoons required. Now, these are some steps for the extraction of silk. First will be the harvesting. Harvesting, it is the removing and selecting operation of the cocoons from mountains and sell them to the market, to the transport or to reeling industries. Then reeling will be the removal of silk thread. About 50% of the silk in each cocoon is reliable. Remainder is used as a silk waste and formed into the spun silk. Raw silk is boiled, scored, steamed and purified. Like this, the first the cocoon drying, steam stiffing, like process of that process of the killing of moth. The process of killing of moth is done to kill pupa, so that the intact cocoon can be used for reeling. Hot air stifling and sun drying is also used for the cocoon drying. Then this cocoon get boiled, so that the cocoon structure it gets soft, and to some extent dissolution and removal of sericin and the gum, this purified by the acid and fermentation. Then the threads they are brushed and the outer surface of cocoons manually and mechanically. The free end silk filaments recognized and the essential for the reeling the entire intact thread. Then the unwinding of silk thread from cocoon is done by the country charkha, and the silk which are not used into the industry or the waste silk, that is the spun silk, they are used for the next industries. These are the some instrument, like you can see the diagrammatically First silkworm, then silk cocoon, then the silk cocoons they get boiled, then creping of silk thread, and then the silk thread they are bind to the charkhas. These are the complete steps of formation of silkworm, that is the cocoon drying, then storage, peeling, sorting, then cooking of cocoons, then reeling, rearing, then inspecting and finishing. These are the some steps where we are using in case of sericulture. About the production of sericulture of mulberry silk in world, India is the second rank holder in case of production of mulberry silk. You can see here China producing a large amount of silk, then then India, then Uzbekistan, then Brazil and Iran. These are some countries, top 5 countries they are involved into the sericulture industries. This is about the sericulture or the rearing of silkworm. Thank you.